know. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Ravens fall to 1-4. A Cardinal makes a Cardinal error, and the Yankees are in a hole. But we begin today with the NFL and the last two unbeaten teams, Buffalo and Philadelphia, going down to defeat. Wilbon, I am incredulous you actually had this.
Ding, 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 ding.
The Eagles lost to Denver, which scored the last 18 points of the game, and the Bills lost to New England, who got a terrific performance out of Drake May. Wilbon, what do these results say about any of the teams involved?
Well, the first two teams, the teams that people presumed were going to win these games, the Eagles and Buffalo, nobody's going undefeated. There's no 72 Dolphins in this group. You don't look at any team that has played through 4 weeks of the season and go, aha, they're the 85 Bears or the 72 Dolphins or the one-loss 49ers teams with Joe Montana. You don't. They're not that great. So people need to stop.
Or the Patriots some years back.
Or the Patriots that went 18 and or 17 or lost the last. Yeah. They're not that. So they're going to lose. Not only going to lose yesterday, they're all going to lose 2 or 3 more times at least. Even the best teams, and I still think the Eagles are among that. The Eagles, though, I will say this. So let's narrow this down. What does this say about any one of the teams specifically? The Eagles, what are they doing? Throwing the ball every down, dropping back 40 times while calling 11 running plays, like one designed rushing play in the second half while throwing the ball 20 or more. No. What are they doing? And so coaches get so fancy, and sometimes you get a new play caller, and I wonder if Sirianni just doesn't say to this guy in the middle of the week, step over, I'll call the plays. So the Eagles, do I think something major is wrong with the Eagles or Saquon Barkley? No, it's being overstated by everybody who talks about football today. It's being overstated. What's wrong with the Eagles? They're not on the same page. They'll be fine.
Okay. So both of these teams lost at home, which really surprised me. And I will add parenthetically here, did not surprise me as much as Washington going to Los Angeles and falling behind 10-0 to the Chargers. Yeah, and then scoring the last 20. I was stunned because I thought after the Chargers had lost to the Giants, they'd go back home and they win this game comfortably. So that surprised me the most. But let me get to the Bills.
Billy and the Bills.
Yeah, Bills and the Eagles right here. Look, I agree with you that no team is going through undefeated. Not through 17 games. No. That's not going to happen. So the takeaway for me is that we don't have a great team out there right now. Maybe we do, and that team has yet to unveil itself to us because this is really only like the end of Act 1 in the season so far. But I will say this, the teams that beat them, Denver and New England, they are in a resurgent mode now because they hired very good coaches. They hired Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel. And they have, right now, Bo Nix is learning how to be a good quarterback. Yeah. Drake May is learning how to be a good quarterback. Jayden Daniels learning how to be a great quarterback. You don't have a good quarterback, you cannot win in this league. The Saints, the Giants, the Jets, right now, the Bengals, the Browns, they can't win in this league. So, Mike, if you ask me who's the MVP right now, it's only 5 weeks. Who's the MVP right now? My list is 3. Okay. My list is Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott.
What do I think wrong with Dak is I just watched Dak in person throw 3 picks in a game 2 weeks ago.
He's got to score 40 for them to win. I know, but
it's overstated. He beat the Jets yesterday.
I understand, and they stink. But I think those guys have been really good.
He's been really good. I just watched him throw 3 picks in a game to lose, to get crushed. So, but just let's calm. Let's slow it down a little bit. We have other losses to discuss, real bad ones. The Ravens fell to 1-4. 1-4 after getting blasted by the Texans. The Cardinals had a win over the Titans in the bag until dude just tosses the game away. The Raiders barely showed a pulse against the Colts. The Dolphins blew a 17-0 lead to the Panthers. And the Giants turned the ball over 5 straight times while falling to the Saints. Meanwhile, your Jets are now 0-5 after losing to those Cowboys.
All right.
Worst loss yesterday was what?
Okay, so I'm tempted because you have a house in Scottsdale to say that it's the Arizona Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they are at home. They are up, 21-3 against a winless team, and they lose 22-21, all because your running back, Demercado, I think is his name, a 72-yard run out of scrimmage, but he doesn't hold the ball going across the goal line. He flips it. They lose that. They'd have been up 22 in the fourth, and they would not have lost that, and as a result, they lost that. They lost that game.
To fall to 2-3, as opposed to being 3-2 on a week that the 49ers win improbably, you need to keep pace.
That's right.
They just
but I'm not going to say that because I honestly believe that the worst loss by far is the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. The Baltimore Ravens are 1-4 in the four losses. I'll get to that. Okay. He doesn't play defense, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. So that's what I'll end up saying. So in those four losses, they've given up 160 points at 40 points a game. Yeah. That defense, that great historic defense, that's down the drain at the moment.
Not here.
They have imploded. All right? They gave up 44 points to the Texans, who were averaging 16 a game. They gave up 44. So as we say in French, at the moment, the Ravens c'est mort, okay? It's not happening for them. It's not happening for them.
Look, the Ravens that's bad, right? And that defense is non-existent for a franchise.
What's worse?
The Cardinals. The game's over. The game's won. You're playing a winless team. You're at home. The game's over, dude. Just because everybody's got to do this now. Let me.
I would have cut him.
Let me go straight to that.
Last night.
Look, I saw this the first time it happened in modern memory. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Texas Stadium. I was there watching it.
I think I was.
And it was so stunning. You couldn't believe it in real time. And Deshaun Jackson went on to have a great career. And
yeah.
Okay. But then we just saw this last week. We see it last week when a dude on the Colts, he just sort of gives it up. He's playing with the balls. He crosses the goes to playing with his food. I would cut people.
Yeah.
You are so if you're not selfish, you're so self-centered. The celebration is more important to you than winning the damn game. Get out. Yeah. I would throw people out.
The other games were fairly predictable. The Giants stink. Jackson Dart is a work in progress.
You mean he's not as great as they had him being after week one?
It's a work in progress, like J.J. McCarthy. Everything is a work in progress. So they lost to a winless team, but nobody is surprised. Not really surprised on that. The Jets are even worse.
The Jets are irrelevant.
Their rookie coach is now 0-5. No Jet coach has ever been 0-5 before. I don't know if he gets another year. No. The guy in Miami, McDaniel, they stink right now. That's a terrible loss. The sands in the hourglass are running out on him. Right. And the Raiders, they're not any good. At least they lost to a fairly decent team. The Colts are a fairly decent team. No,
not used to being one.
Not working. Let's move to playoff baseball. The Yankees, who had given up 10 runs to Toronto in the first game, gave up 13 runs in the second game. They are limping back to New York now. The Detroit Tigers were beaten late by Seattle yesterday. That series now tied at 1. Wilbon, what was your biggest takeaway from the first 4 games in the American League Division Series?
Max Fried getting bounced. That's it. That's all. I don't want to overstate this because I think the Yankees, I don't want to sound like Aaron Boone's twin, but I believe the Yankees can come back and win Game 3 in Ruth's house, and they can be fun. We got a series. It's best 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
So I believe that can happen. I sort of believe it will happen. I'm not saying I got the Yankees winning the series. I'm saying the Yankees are going to win Game 3, and then we'll see. Mm-hmm. But Fried getting, nicked. That's what, because if that doesn't happen, if that game goes according to form, that series is also 1-1, just like Detroit, Seattle, which was a tremendous game.
So I watched that game, the Yankee game. There was a look on Fried's face. He was forlorn.
Yeah.
He did not know what was happening to him.
Yeah.
Nothing he threw was reaching its intended target. I have to be honest here, I thought the Tigers were going to win.
I did too.
Yesterday.
I did too.
They had Tarek Skubal on the mound. The last time we saw him,
gave up 4 or 5 hits.
The last time we saw him, he had 14 strikeouts. He ends up 7 innings. He has 2 solo home runs to Polanco, right?
Yeah.
But still, he only gives up 2, and he strikes out 7. He strikes
hits.
out 9, something like that. A very credible
really
performance.
Good, not great, yeah.
But the pitching staff on the other side limits the Tigers to just 3 hits. And then when the Tigers need relief and they go to the bullpen, they bring out Kyle Finnegan, who I watched for years in Washington, and it doesn't surprise me at all that 3 hits later, that game was over. Didn't surprise me.
Yeah, but look, I think...
At least that's a competitive series. Yankee series not yet competitive.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I just think there's a lot of drama to go in both those series. And by the way...
The Yankees have given up over 20 runs. You think they get back home because why? Because they're 4-2 against Toronto in Yankee Stadium?
They're going to win Game 3.
Okay, but if it goes back to Toronto, where it's rain and runs, what do you think is going to happen?
Okay,
there?
but let's see how it does if it does. I just think that the Yankees can settle this. I like Boone's approach. I like him basically saying, so what?
Have you ever heard of this guy, Yasavage? Had you heard of him?
I'd heard of him, but I didn't know he was that good.
5 1/3 of no hits
yeah.
and 11 Ks.